Hey, welcome back to the Chum. I'm Jennings Moss, the editor of the Upstart Business Journal. This is our weekly take of all things Shark Tank. Let's get right to it. You know, there's very little that will tug at the heartstrings of the sharks than when a kid comes into the tank, and that's exactly what happened when Noah Cahoon walked in with his dad, Brian, and his little brother, Milo. Now, Noah was 13 years old when he walked into the tank. Noah is the CEO of Paper Box Pilots. Out of Utah, the concept here is pretty simple. A bunch of stickers that you could put on a box and turn that box into a plane or into a fire engine or into a race car, under the concept that the kids sometimes like the box that stuff comes in more than the toy that they were getting in the first place. They were looking for $35,000 in exchange for 25% of the company. They got a couple of takers. Actually, 3 sharks came in, which is impressive for any entrepreneur, but even more so if you're 13. Robert, Barbara, and Kevin all came in with offers. Now, actually, Kevin O'Leary's offer was numerically the worst of the bunch. He was looking for $35,000. I keep doing that on the percentage. $35,000 for 50% of the company. Brian, Noah's dad, when it came time to choose, turned to his son and said, asked probably the best question that I've heard in the tank when it comes to decision time, which was, who do you want to be your mentor? Who do you want to work with the most? And Noah, almost without hesitation, said, Mr. Wonderful. And here's the reason why. Because he knew, and rightly so, that Kevin knows toys. He sold his first company, the Learning Company, to Mattel for $4 billion in 1999. So O'Leary knows toys. He knows how to negotiate. He knows how to get a meeting. So I wish Noah a lot of good success in working with Mr. Wonderful. So definitely the pitch of the night. Now for the deal. That went to Reviver, a company started by 2 brothers, Ben and Eric Cousin. And the concept here, it was like a Febreze pad that you could wipe over yourself if you're stinky, so that it would take the odor out of your clothes, like dog smells or smoke smells or bacon smells, whatever. Definitely, I think, a good product if you're a business traveler or if you're around a lot of heavy odors all the time. But they were looking for, their pricing was a little off. They were looking for $150,000 in exchange for 5% of the company, which put their valuation at $3 million. Now, they're in a fair number of stores now. Their sales are pretty good. A little too rich for a couple of the sharks. Barbara came in with a different idea. She wasn't going to give them any money. She wasn't going to make an offer because she doesn't like working with rich kids. These guys, their dad is actually a successful entrepreneur. He had started the GameStop line of video game stores. Now, they would dispute the characterization that they were rich kids, but nonetheless, Barbara wasn't playing. Fortunately, they did get 2 offers, from Lori and from Robert. Now, they went with Lori, the queen of QVC, who offered $150,000 in exchange for 15% of the company. I think definitely a good deal for them. Lori can take their product on television, wide distribution, sort of a nice match between product and shark. So congratulations all the way around. Now for our lesson of the night. This is invariably a company that did not make a deal with a shark. That's what happened with Fun Cakes Rental. The concept here is that it's a fully designed wedding cake, really ornate. The issue is it's not real. They ship it to you. That way you can sort of push it out, and then the bride and the groom, or the groom and the groom, or the bride and the bride can cut out a piece, feed it to each other, take it back, and then sheet cakes actually gets brought out for all of the guests to eat. Really significantly reduces the cost of a wedding cake for a budget-conscious wedding consumer. Barbara really liked the idea, and it wasn't bad. Their product looked pretty good, but here's the problem. They'd been in business for 7 years. Their sales last year were $150,000. I think between the 2 of them, they said that they took home $17,000 in profits that they could actually live on. Way too little, especially for what they were asking for, which was $285,000 in exchange for 25% of the company, which put the value of the company at more than $1 million. The lesson here: you got to hustle. And shark after shark told them that they just didn't have that drive, that gumption to really make it go. I think Mark Cuban put it best when he said, "You guys aren't grinders," meaning they're not out pushing it, they're not out hustling, they're not out trying to get that money. So the lesson: you're an entrepreneur, your business might be struggling, you can't give up. You got to get in there, you got to make those sales, and you got to sell it hard. That's it. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Chum. Come back next time. And for a daily fix on entrepreneur and startup news, check out upstartbusinessjournal.com. Thanks.